everybody! Today I'm reviewing a couple of different brush sets from Essence of Beauty. That's a brand that I find at my local CVS drugstores, and they are called magnetic brush sets. So basically they roll up like this. You've got one actual brush handle and 3 interchangeable heads for the face brushes, and then I also got the eye brushes, and that is again one handle and 4 different heads that can be put on. I'm gonna need to double check my prices, but I believe they were around $10 a piece. I'm going to start out talking about the face set. This is how they come on. See how it fits over, and then the magnet kind of makes it cling on. I haven't noticed any problems in terms of the magnet not being strong enough or feeling like I couldn't use the brush normally. It seems to all hold together as well as it needs to. But as far as this foundation brush goes, this is pretty small for a foundation brush. Like, this is a standard size foundation brush. It can function to like blend in your concealer a little bit, but I mean just a bit undersized on that brush, and it does claim to be a foundation brush. Another brush you have here is a powder brush. So it looks like this, and this I would say is comparable in size to a lot of blush brushes, maybe a little bit smaller, very soft and nicely tapered. I do think this is adequate for blush. I feel like I can get a decent application with that. But compared to a typical powder brush, it's also pretty undersized. And then the actual brush labeled as a blush brush is angled like this. When you look at it compared to, say, my Sigma brush that's angled like that, it's definitely not as full. And it just seems really small on the cheek to apply blush. And then kind of a fluke problem. I'm not, you know, judging everything by this issue that I had, but there was a weird little flaw in this brush. It was way pinched in, and when I got it, I couldn't even get it over the handle. So I got out some tools and I pried it open to where I could just fit it over the edge of it, but it's just kind of hanging on there, you know. It's not able to really get down there and even use the magnetic aspect of this. It's just barely fitting over the tip. But I think the concept here is that this is supposed to be travel friendly and easy to take with you on the go. The little sort of brush roll that these come in, it velcros around, and then you're taking something about that size. And the eye brushes, you've got a substantially smaller little base or handle to the brushes, and then you've got 4 brush heads. A little flat brush here, which I think is really nice. It's a great size, nice and soft. It's good for packing shadow on the lid. You've also got a small brush here that it really looks tiny. This is really good for precise work in your crease, or if you want to, you know, smudge out your lower lash line. And then you've got an eyeliner brush, and that's the style that's cut pretty much flat across. And also a brush that's a bit stiffer and angled, and that's your brow brush. Quality-wise on these eye brushes, I don't really have any complaints. You know, I think you've got 4 good brushes. In terms of this being an all-encompassing set, I really wish they would have maybe thrown in a fluffy brush for blending. I think that would really make this, you know, an eye kit that you had everything you needed. My overall thoughts on these, I do feel like Essence of Beauty makes good brushes. Like, I've bought quite a few of them over the years, little concealer brushes, face brushes. They make a crease brush duo. I'm not sure that they look exactly like this, but I've had these for years and continue to use them to this day. As far as these sets go, I don't really enjoy them, especially the face brush set. I feel like the brushes themselves are really undersized, and I think, you know, this little storage method really doesn't protect them at all because they're poking out the top. So for me, I don't think that's really a worthwhile product. As far as the eye brushes, I think these are good quality eye brushes and nicely sized. It's just that when I look at that set, I know something's missing. And if you want to use this as like your only eye brush set, if you've never bought brushes before and you're like, you know, would this work for me? I would say you definitely need to pull in, you know, a fluffy crease brush to make all of these work for you. As far as the interchangeable heads, I mean, I don't feel like it's that much of a space saver. I don't think brushes take up that much room, and it's definitely not a time saver when you have to keep switching them out. And if you're like me, sometimes you use one brush for a while and then you go to another one, then you're like, oh, I want to go back to that first one I used, and it just keeps going and going. I get many questions about drugstore brushes, so I'll continue to review some low-cost options. These from Essence of Beauty I'm just not a big fan of. So thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.